Pit feed initiated. This is an enormous discovery. The culmination of my investigation of the tech relic of Uther Tiberius. Here I have the sacred pattern that contains the secret of the improved communion between man and machine. The creation of a spirit with enhanced cognitive abilities. The work of a true genius. This miraculous union needs to be studied and replicated in the solitude of a blessed forge to better serve the Imperium. I'm exploding the pattern now.
We fail to understand how our doctrine can serve the Imperium. Our existence has a unique purpose, which is to protect the Alpha subject.
As I still have insufficient data to understand your purpose here, I cannot comment on that.
Stored demonic essence will be released. Colossal amount of warp energy manifesting in the stasis chamber.
I don't know what is happening with my fellow Inquisitor, but that Vox message sounded dire.
Correct. This agent has made a significant contribution to the preservation of the Alpha subject. The survival of the Alpha subject is paramount.
I require access to the dossier on this Alpha subject.
We cannot comply. You must leave the Martyr immediately. We are initiating a warp jump, and the Geller shields on this subdeck have been compromised. Therefore, there is a 99.7% chance of your instant termination.
In the name of the Holy Inquisition, I command you to stop this protocol.
The Eutherian theorem must be protected at all costs. This task cannot be overridden. You must leave immediately.
The Inquisitor! The great serpent shall eat his soul! I will flail you alive. You told me that the Inquisitor was on the derelict.
I've witnessed certain developments. The conclusion is that there are simply too many variables in this equation. I have an inquisitorial ship investigating the Martyr and the mysterious Alpha subject. The attack of the traitor Marines was unsettling enough, but the sudden appearance of these Drukhari marauders presents incalculable risks. Tech Priest, this Imperial facility has been abandoned for a very long time. Are you certain the Alpha Pariah is here?
The data burst from the machine spirit was an emergency signal. The Alpha Pariah left the Martyr to follow an unidentified Vox transmission originating from these coordinates.
I need more information on this place.
Cursory data siphoning reveals that the deeds of Foundation bear the seal of Uther Tiberius.
This must have been one of his secret hideouts, designated to aid his pilgrimage through the Caligari Sector. Did the Martyr follow the ancient protocols?
Tagged as speculation. Suggestion. Revert to priority assignment.
I have located the Alpha Pariah. She's on Shrine Level Alpha 4. I need to return to the ship. Then I will find her. Blessed be the power that suffuses the ancient machinery in this fortress.
The Harbinger's fate resonates in the future. We're at the crossroads, where oblivion looms close.
The one who sees his own doom can better avoid its path.
Spare me. She is dangerous. If we choose poorly, not even the Whispering God can save us.
She is magnificent, isn't she? Like the death of a son.
Her sheer existence fills me with revulsion. But still, she's just a monkey, and a weapon waiting to be used.
Quite the contrary. She has finally taken the stage. Everything will unfold from here.
Then we should play our parts too. Warriors, proceed!
Analysis. The Alpha subject has been manifesting powers currently unlisted in the classified Psyche Index.
What a tantalizing glimpse into the true potential of the Tiberius research. I must secure her immediately.
This is Inquisitor Kraybart speaking on behalf of the Ordo Hereticus of the Holy Inquisition. We have received your code-red astropathic transmission, and our fleet is calculating arrival vector as we speak. Prepare to join our forces shortly.
Reinforcements are almost there. Why don't you just wait for them?
The Alpha Pariah has no control over her abilities, and she will react to danger fiercely. And the Ordo Hereticus are not famous for their patience. Are you trying to flee the mayhem of your own doing?
I am nothing but an observer of the unfolding tragedy.
Stop speaking in riddles. What tragedy?
The Harbinger was brought into existence for a reason. She is either the fall or the last hope of your misguided kind.
Is she now? Tell me everything about the Alpha Pariah, or I will kill you.
You have no sense of timing, human. We will meet again at a more suitable place and time.
What in the name of the Emperor was that creature?
A Harlequin. A member of an extremely militant and highly cultured subgroup within the Eldari race that doesn't belong to any faction.
The persistence of your kind, Monkey, almost makes you interesting.
I will not rest until I have secured the Imperial subject.
Why? She is unnatural. She is everything we both consider repugnant.
That is totally irrelevant to the situation.
Still, you don't need to be concerned about her. We will need her alive.
Stay away from me! Did you see what I did to those... Elder?
Yes, I have the picked records of the entire encounter for further analysis.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I am an Inquisitor of the Holy Orders. I have been investigating the mysteries of Uther Tiberius. I'm here to take you to safety.
Uther Tiberius. What should I even call that man? My creator? My father? My nemesis?
I have insufficient information to answer your question at this time.
And what if I want to stay here? Will you kill me then?
Do you harbor any curiosity about your origins? Wouldn't you like to gain more information on your potential?
That's all I've ever wanted. But you didn't answer my question.
It was a foolish question. I can provide protection and a relatively comfortable existence for you. Rejecting my offer would be illogical.
I'll go with you. I don't feel I have any choice, anyway.
Inquisitor Kraybart, you may be relieved to know that I have completed my mission, without your assistance.
We expected no less of you. However, I demand that you cease your involvement in this matter and place the Martyr and that Alpha Pariah into Ordo Hereticus custody.
I am a seeker of knowledge myself, and I shall be involved in the ongoing investigation.
Other Tiberius was a heretic. The Martyr has clearly been a hotbed of heretical activity. This is Ordo Hereticus jurisdiction, and we will purge every last haul of that accursed ship.
The decks are swarming with daemons. Are you prepared to start a jurisdictional dispute with the Ordo Malleus as well?
I don't like your tone, Inquisitor. Not one bit.
We could make a compromise. I can give up the investigation on the Martyr, but the Alpha subject is the most intriguing asset for the Imperium we've had. I must study her abilities.
I usually don't compromise, but considering your stellar achievements in the fight against heresy, I am willing to make an exception.
I sense a but coming.
But we might need your help as well. A sudden outbreak of potentially chaos-related infestation on Cascadia Prime requires attention. We need our forces on the Martyr. If you are willing to investigate the infestation, you can take the Alpha subject with you. The Martyr cannot leave this system, though.
I can accept that compromise.
Inquisitor, you promised me answers. Then you put me in another prison cell.
You are free to wander the vessel.
Right, so I'm allowed to leave this ship, where everyone is horrified or disgusted by me, for reasons I don't even understand.
You are the subject of a highly classified inquisitorial investigation, and you must be kept under constant surveillance.
So a prisoner. What have I done to deserve such fate?
You have done nothing wrong, yet. However, Tiberius abandoned you before you could perfect and expand your talents. Therefore, you pose a potential threat.
I don't know anything about that. I just have this energy inside me, squeezing, stretching, sometimes snapping, and then bad things happen. Like when the Martyr arrived at that fort.
What happened?
I was in a haze. I remember that the talking flesh servants on the walls were screaming at me to hide, but I couldn't. And those Elder came for me. Then I woke up properly and made them hurt.
We will study your abilities properly. I will make sure that you only use them when it is necessary. I've analyzed your logs several times, and I'm certain that the Alpha Pariah has the unique ability to completely destroy daemons instead of simple banishment. Still, we have no idea how that works.
True. The data we have on her abilities is scarce, and her previous encounter with a greater demon on the Martyr could be an anomaly.
That is why I want her to join me on the chaos-infested world during my mission. Her powers could purge the infestation.
You are experimenting with a live subject, Inquisitor. An idea worthy of a tech priest.
A perplexing reaction. I was an adept of the cult mechanicus. Their methods are also applicable to Ordo investigations.
I will prepare the Alpha subject and have the teleportarium ready when you call for her.
The time has come for you to join me on a priority mission. It is time to test your abilities and determination.
Before I say anything, what am I supposed to do?
We will enter a hive in the thralls of a chaos infestation. I want you to employ your powers to put an end to that foul contamination.
No! Absolutely not! I lived through that nightmare countless times. Walls thick with muck, shambling shadows on the corridors, the growling of those creatures. No!
Your fear of chaos is understandable, but you are far from defenseless. And this was not a request, by the way.
Are you willing to kill me if I disobey? Or am I too valuable for that?
I will do anything in my power to save the Imperium from destruction. Would you?
I would. But you must know that I'm truly terrified. What if I lose control over my powers?
You will not. That is why we need to test your abilities out there.
You are right. I think. Yes, I will accompany you.
You are approaching the site where the plague originated. Beware. The sensors are indicating increasing warp activity in the area.
I interpret this as a confirmation. My priority target must have learned of my arrival. In any case, it is the perfect opportunity to test the Alpha Pariah's unique abilities.
I don't even know what I should do.
Just do whatever you have already done several times when you tried to protect yourself. Regarding your uncertainties, I wonder why Uther Tiberius didn't train you properly.
Uther was a genius, but also a terrible mentor.
If it helps, I'm inclined to avoid his mistakes.
It helps a little, yes. You know, Inquisitor, it was a bold choice to bring me here. Has it occurred to you that maybe you are the one who should be afraid of me?
Are you threatening me?
I'm just pointing out the fact that I have no control over my abilities. That's all.
It is time. Unleash your powers on the Horde.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
This is your primary function. Should you fail to comply, you will probably die.
It is too much. I don't know if I can control it. Yes, I can do this. Perish!
Initial test phase completed. Subject's potential is remarkable, but control remains unstable. Tech Priest, I need her back on the ship now.
Experiencing recurring calibration problems. Warp anomalies combined with the subject's distortion field are hindering return teleportation.
This location is extremely unsafe for her.
Correct. Sensors indicate large hostile forces inbound.
I'm ordering the assistance of the Astartes Sergeant. You can revert the teleportarium sequence, I presume.
It was wise of you to call, Inquisitor. No one will withstand my righteous fury.
Try to keep your head clear, Thor, and focus on the protection of the Alpha Pariah. Their survival is paramount.
Rest assured, not a single abomination will live long enough to get to
Blessed destruction. Priest, why haven't you evacuated the Alpha Pariah yet?
Calibrating teleportarium sequences. Chance of failure calculated unacceptable. Suggestion: nullify the source of Imperium fluctuations.
That was hardly a revelation. Find a solution.
excuse to kill the filth. Just wondering.
She is an Imperial citizen, Thor, and a very important one to that.
She is also a pariah. And I just can't help feeling instant, deep revulsion when I'm around her. Not to mention her unnatural powers.
She can destroy demons, Thor. The galaxy is burning, and those powers are the most valuable assets we have ever had against the ruinous powers.
Calibration complete. Estimated chances of successful teleportation are currently at 95%.
Run me the worst-case scenario for the Astartes and the Alpha Pariah.
Their physical bodies will disintegrate. Regarding the spiritual component, you can access reference material flagged as unconfirmed.
I find the chances suboptimal, but acceptable. By the Emperor, the Primogenitor.
Inquisitor, I've been expecting you. I am truly disappointed, though, that you came alone.
I know. I've been well aware of your plan for a while now.
I've been hunting your kind for a long time. But I never dared to hope that the Dark Gods would send me the one who has the Alpha Pariah. Tell me, where is she now?
I will obviously not divulge any information to you, traitor.
The Anathema Ultima, the Alpha subject. Call her whatever you want, but she is mine! I have been trying to reclaim my precious experiment since that perfidious Tiberius cheated her out of my hands!
You might begin to see a pattern here.
Oh no, I will take you alive, Inquisitor. We will experiment, you and I, to see where the threshold of suffering lies for you. Then you will be ready to denounce your master and beg for my forgiveness. I find your dedication to a decaying emperor most commendable. However, I have disturbing news for you, Inquisitor. You simply cannot defeat me. Should you be victorious this time?
hideous bile! Your existence is a curse upon this world. Judgment will finally find you.
Another Inquisitor? This plan seems to be working splendidly, if I do say so myself.
For your innumerable crimes, your sentence is death. Delivered here and now.
You are wasting the dwindling resources of your pathetic Imperium. I am one of many. Even if you succeeded, you would accomplish nothing. But you won't.
Lies upon lies. The judgment of the Emperor is upon you, heretic.
Inquisitor, next time I expect you to bring what belongs to me. Until then...
You set me up, Inquisitor. What's worse, you have risked an extremely important Imperial asset. I should bring this to the Conclave.
Spare me the indignation. My order knew that Fabius Bile is here in the Caligari Sector, and we have been hunting for that traitor for a very long time.
And from your perspective, the demise of Bile is the ultimate priority.
Obviously. Appreciate the irony, Inquisitor. Bile set a trap for us that we used to entrap Bile.
I disagree with your priorities, but I must approve the logic behind your reasoning, even if Bile has escaped this time. You should have fled again when I killed your precious torturers.
You weren't that precious. A small price to pay for the entity you
Prepare for your judgment. Tell me, was it worth it?
Your small-mindedness is astonishing, wretched creature. But what?
How did they know about the Alpha Pariah?
It is indeed a most pressing question. We cannot leave her unguarded. The Drukhari have proven that they are the masters of the ambush, and they can strike with their cloaked vessels from the webway. From now on, you are on constant guard duty, Sergeant.
Understood, Inquisitor. Although I still believe you could benefit more from my presence on the field of battle.
As per your request, I have executed thorough analytical sermons, focusing on the Alpha subject's mental stability.
Give me a brief update.
The Alpha subject seems to bear the traces of deep mental conditioning, most probably conducted during her early sessions with Uther Tiberius.
Does that affect her abilities?
Probably not. Her will is adamant, but it might result in erratic behavior, which is quite a risk with her capabilities.
Inquisitor, there is an astropathic message for you from an agent of the Ordo Xenos. The embedded emotional markings indicate that it is urgent.
Inquisitor. I am Inquisitor Theodon Mercer of the Ordo Xenos, currently stationed on Heliodor 4, vigorously protecting the Inquisitorial archives, with special regard to the sensitive materials stored in the vaults. I will cut to the chase. I urgently need your help. You are probably wondering why I have contacted you, and rightly so. The facility where I'm holed up is under the attack by the Tuathal Aldari. If I am not mistaken, you have already made their acquaintance. They are looking for classified Ordos material on... how shall I put it? On the unique presence you have on your ship. I hope I have your interest now. Help me out and I can promise you the answers you seek. I also have Amasek and cigars. The Emperor protects.
How can this Inquisitor know about the Alpha Pariah?
I have no idea. He left me no choice, though. I must find this Mercer and talk to him.
So this is their target. This data vault stores classified Inquisitorial records. Judging by the classification entries, the dossier on the Martyr investigation could also be here.
The Elder must have been trying to locate the Martyr.
I'd rather put it differently. They had been definitely after the Alpha Pariah.
A valid theory. Her traits make her capable of cleansing an infested craft world.
Absolutely. Therefore, they will not retreat until their Farseer is dead.
Before I become part of the Infinity Circuit, you must know something.
Wait, I'm initiating pit recording.
We never wanted to harm that unique individual. We only wanted to take her to our craft world.
You wanted to cleanse your dying world?
That is our only purpose.
And why did you need these Imperial archives?
I have no interest in your petty secrets, but I saw that you would come. You, the key to the Anathema Ultima. The Harlequin warned us not to take this path, but we didn't have any choice.
What can you tell me about the Harlequin?
She cannot be trusted. She has her own agenda. She walks the seventh path. Her fate is linked to the Whispering One.
The last act in this grand tragedy will soon unfold, human. Are you willing to take the stage?
I must warn you that to manipulate an Inquisitor is not the brightest idea, Eldar.
Always so furious. So short-sighted. I am not your weak-willed subordinate.
Insolence. You have clearly betrayed me.
This stone once absorbed the soul of a seer, the greatest pathfinder in the Garden of Ever-Changing Roads. I need it. We need it to walk the seventh path. This is the first curio of fate I need.
Are you willing to cooperate?
On one condition.
What would that be?
You really, really need to survive your next battle. I've promised you answers, human. So, you will have your answers.
Did you lead me here on purpose?
I might have manipulated you to help me take the Spirit Stone from this scorched pit of despair our planet has become. Yes.
Did you lie about everything? The prophecy, the Alpha Pariah?
I cannot lie. My role forbids it. Your Inquisitor brother knows that. That's why you were sent here. Clever, clever Mercer. I weave my words too carefully for lies.
Enough of this. Do you know the answer to my question or not?
There is a place deep within the maze that spreads between the real space and the warp. And in the heart of that living, twisting labyrinth lies the Black Library.
You are stalling again. I'm losing patience with you, Eldar.
The library is a repository of forbidden knowledge, a vast collection of books still unwritten or lost forever. And I stole the prophecy from its darkest vaults.
You had it the entire time.
I told you I didn't lie. Take the prophecy. It is yours.
This ranks as a highly improbable scenario, yet with the optimal outcome. What do you make of this ancient prophecy, Margos?
The tech priest considers it pure Xenox nonsense. My opinion is more nuanced, but I can't see any practical use for it either.
You are being too harsh. The prophecy alludes to certain facts that we know are valid.
You are willing, then, to accept the existence of a million-year-old artifact created by a race long extinct that somehow had knowledge of the birth of beings like her?
Uther's research was based on ancient fabricators' technology. The existence of the Alpha Pariah could easily be the result of this prophecy. In that case, the Pariah needs the artifact to control her powers and fulfill her true potential. Otherwise, she presents a grave danger to everyone.
I am not in the habit of allowing anyone to ignore my summons. We're engaged in the most devastating battle the Caligari Sector has ever witnessed.
Is the situation connected to that abnormal warp rift in the system?
It is. We call it the Dark Nexus. A bloated, terrible warp anomaly, continuously expanding. We could be witnessing the birth of another Eye of Terror.
By the Emperor? That is a very bold and unsettling assertion.
Just think about it, Inquisitor. Another sub-reality in the Imperium, existing within both the real space and the warp, would open up a new front with an endless tide of enemies.
And how could I assist your battle?
As I've been notified by Inquisitor Krabat from the Ordo Hereticus, you have an asset on your ship with extraordinary capabilities against the warp. It could help us.
The asset is a she, not an it. And indeed, your information correlates with an ancient prophecy about the potential of the Alpha Pariah. But before we could even begin to discuss how she could help us, I must find an artifact that would channel her abilities. Otherwise, there might be grave consequences.
I pray to the Emperor that you find that artifact soon. We will talk later.
Logging new observation. The Fabricators race knew about the Pariah gene, and they were experimenting with it millions of standard years ago. They were trying to create a unique creature combining the abilities of Psychers and Pariahs, capable of ruling the warp. I have a strong suspicion that Uther Tiberius tried to complete the same experiment. Perhaps the last missing component was this Fabricator's artifact. I should have surmised that the relic has been kept safe for countless millennia by a preservation field of some sorts.
The field is impenetrable. Identical energy barrier has already been logged on the Martyr, protecting the status chamber of the Alpha subject.
The Fabricators created this artifact with a specific operator in mind. If the Alpha subject is the one, she might be able to interact with the field.
Logical assumption.
Sergeant, I need the Alpha Pariah. Send her to me.
Allow me to join the fight, Inquisitor.
Anything could happen to us here, Dawn. Anything. If I do not make it back, you must deliver all my findings to the Conclave.
Affirmative.
Are you serious, Inquisitor? I feel a resonance with this thing, but none of us know what will happen if I step closer.
I give you an artifact from the dawn of the universe, the key that might unlock your true potential, and suddenly you are afraid.
I was only making an observation in the light of my recent ordeals. I hope you don't expect me to apologize.
My expectations are irrelevant. My orders matter, however.
If this is indeed my legacy, you can expect a heartfelt apology from me.
We will discuss your impertinence later. Now proceed.
Bravo! What a fabulous performance. Inquisitor, my only remaining part in this play is to take the Alpha Pariah with me and let the curtain fall.
I knew that I couldn't trust you. You have manipulated me, Eldar.
I have merely woven all the threads together, twinning the fate of the Tauthal Eldari and yourself, Inquisitor, until you all made this moment happen together.
I've warned you once. Playing games with an Inquisitor is dangerous, even for your kind.
This is not a game, human. The Anathema Ultima must be adorned with the crown of emptiness. Only then will she enter the Immaterium to fulfill a destiny both frightening and majestic.
I suspect that you have other plans for her.
The Anathema Ultima is the brightest glimmer of hope for us. For the Inari, this is inevitable.
I was expecting at least some assistance from you.
It was your battle to fight, not mine.
And now you talk like the Harlequin. How are you feeling?
It is difficult to explain. My will is... It is a barbed, poisonous thing. And it is also smooth and cold as obsidian. And it is a weapon, and a key, and the tincture that heals the black wound on the world.
I don't like this. The Margos will take a look at you on the ship. We have gathered here to bring forth the prophecy that was foretold at the dawn of the galaxy. The Alpha Pariah shall be adorned by the crown of emptiness and destroy the Dark Nexus by sailing into the Imperium.
Very poetic. Also fundamentally wrong. The Dark Nexus is not our priority here. Hideous Bile is one of the most abhorrent adversaries of the Imperium. We shall attack his hideout. I have traveled here on the Martyr, now properly purged and blessed, with the zealots of my order on board. It should be a sufficient force.
So very hereticous of you. May I remind you that Bile's Starfort is inconveniently close to the most terrible warp anomaly ever seen in this sector?
They use this Alpha Pariah to destroy Bile. That's where her true capabilities lie, don't they? Before we deal with the Dark Nexus, we have to eliminate the Primogenitor.
I must object. We simply cannot allow the Alpha Pariah to get close to Bile. That traitor played a huge part in her creation. What if he seizes control of her? Use her to obliterate the Dark Nexus, which is also the source of Bile's power. Then we will deal with the Primogenitor on our own.
You know the Alpha Pariah the best, Inquisitor. I think you should have your say before I chime in. It is most unfortunate, but I must respectfully disagree with your decision, Inquisitor. It seems we have reached an impasse. And honestly, this is her fate we are talking about. This should be her decision. Whatever action the Alpha Pariah takes, it will have colossal consequences. I simply don't have a say in this matter.
Nonsense! We are Inquisitors. We rule over life and death for the sake of the Imperium.
Inquisitor Mercer, I really appreciate your concerns. Inquisitor Crabart, I even see your point. But I made my decision a long time ago. I will follow the prophecy. But first, I will kill Hideous Bile. I have seen some of my unsuccessful iterations in Uther's laboratory. The cursed handiworks of Bile. I have to stop him and end this cycle of suffering and pain. I want to destroy that worm. On one condition.
What would that be?
You, Inquisitor, will accompany me, and we will face Hideous Bile together.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
So, it has come to this. We are in the tainted fortress of the Primogenitor that even his own traitorous brothers despise and fear. That's what I was expected to say, right?
I find your increasing cynicism slightly troubling. The Drukhari, here.
Arak was right. The creature is here. Take her and kill the Inquisitor.
I am not a creature.
The Drukhari only attacked Baal's fortress because they were certain that you would be there.
Uther expected that. He always thought that the Eldari factions would be after me. That was one of the many reasons he kept me on a ship monastery.
They were following Baal's steps all the way to keep track on you. They must be desperate to capture or kill you.
Some abomination crawling out of the webway will not frighten me anymore, Inquisitor. Inquisitor, do you feel a constant, horrible sensation? Like walking in the nightmare of an insane mind?
The proximity of Dark Nexus plays tricks on reality. And by the way, that was a very poetic observation.
If you spend your waking hours in laboratories and meditation chambers, books become your best friends. You know, Uther was not entirely a monster. Still, I wish I could have faced him like I will face Bile soon.
There she is! Kill the monkey, and take that creature!
I will enjoy watching you try.
You might have defeated my brother, but you should fear me.
Your brother? That was the bug we found crawling on our ship? He didn't put up much of a fight.
She's right. You'd be better off fleeing and finding someone weaker in your dark city to torture.
I don't want to torture her. Believe it or not, I am willing to forfeit pleasure for a greater goal. The Whispering God will have the Anathema Ultima. She will be devoured, and our time will come.
Not on my watch. Hopefully that was the last of the Drakari raiding party.
Can we finally move along and kill that wretched Fabius Bile? Fate awaits.
Not before we purge this entire area. I don't want any surprises later.
It will be my pleasure.
We have fought our way through.
What are we waiting for then? I have a destiny to fulfill, remember?
Patience. We need to regroup on the ship. Then we can storm Bile's inner sanctum. Are you ready?
I'm not worried about Fabius Bile. I'm more intrigued by whatever comes after. In the great beyond.
I must warn you again. We have absolutely no idea what will happen to you when you sail through the Dark Nexus on the Martyr.
I know exactly what is awaiting for me there, Inquisitor. Freedom. Whatever fate has in store for me beyond that unholy rift, I can be myself there. I was created to serve a purpose in this world. I have accepted and fulfilled my destiny here.
You will set forth into the Imperium, the realm of bloodthirsty gods, madness and monsters, a place not meant for any human.
I am not human, Inquisitor. I've never been human.
And still, by letting that Dark Nexus consume you, you will do the most humane thing I've ever seen in this forsaken corner of the Imperium. We are in Bile's laboratory, the pulsing black heart of this accursed labyrinth.
Let's end this. Kill Fabius Bile so I can enter the great beyond.
Your task is to close the Dark Nexus, nothing else. What a vile display of sheer insanity.
This is not insanity, Inquisitor. Just cruelty and barbarism. I spit on this primogenitor.
Bile probably never gave up his dreams to reconstruct. Well, you, the churning effluvia of the Dark Nexus, must provide enough energy for him to conduct his experiments.
Not anymore. I will take my revenge, sisters.
What a pleasant surprise, Inquisitor! Finally, you have delivered what belongs to me.
If I were you, I wouldn't be too thankful for that.
Enjoy the irony of your creature becoming your unmaking.
My child, you are as much Uther's creation as mine. The idea was his. I only provided my exceptional talents to make his vision come true. You are the pinnacle of my art. I'm sure you would attest to that, Inquisitor. I will have her back!
Tiberius wanted to send her against the warp. You wanted to use her to destroy the Imperium of Man.
Like all my other selves roaming this dying galaxy, I have exercised my genius to make my name immortal. If I can cause the fall of your corpse, Emperor, it will be a charming addition.
is nigh.
A force to manipulate, to rule. The Imperium was an end worth pursuing. One day, even the so-called ruinous powers will bow before the new men.
Blasphemy.
You have betrayed everything, even your dark gods. Perish!
This is the end, then. At least for this clone of the foul Fabius Bile.
What you consider the end is a new beginning for me. Keep on fighting for the Imperium, Inquisitor. We might meet again one day.
I pray to the Emperor that we won't.
If anyone can hear me, this is my farewell. I am the Alpha Pariah. I am the Anathema Ultima. I am on the Martyr, flying into the Dark Nexus. I can feel the surge of endless possibilities. Uther was right. The Immaterium must be reshaped, ruled. There was no other way to survive the dark times. I am ready.
Sensor readings confirm that the Dark Nexus has closed.
The plan worked.
I wonder if the Alpha Pariah survived the collapse of the anomaly.
Her unique nature will protect her from the Immaterium. And don't forget that the machine spirit of the Martyr will follow the protocols and keep her safe.
I know that she was not to blame, but her presence made our skins crawl. It might be better for her, out there.
The unfortunate side effect of being a pariah.
What will become of her now?
Only the Emperor knows. She might become our greatest ally against the Chaos. She could become the greatest ally of Chaos. And maybe nothing will happen. We will probably never know, Captain.